They successfully executed it, but it almost immediately started to turn back in Gen.G's favor.
That's what I was going to say. I knew it was going to go poorly when they immediately had Hung die like 2 seconds later. And from that point forward, it became a Gen.G runaway train. They were not going to stop for nothing. And now Top Esports have to find a way to slam the brakes and hope that they can push it to a game number 3.
Top Esports moving over to the blue side for this game 2. We'll ban away the Ambessa and the Wukong, exactly the same as game 1. Gen.G sticking with that Kiana. Game 1 they got rid of Yunara and Azir to round out their bans. We'll see perhaps that Yunara sneaks through. Sometimes she does in this second phase of bans. But for the moment, Gen.G just pontificating, having a little ponder about what is going to be that second ban. Orianna, their choice.
Yeah, we probably get the Orianna Azir both banned again this time around. Those picks are just too powerful for most teams. So you Medic, you get your choice, Azir ban or Yunara ban.
Well, I like this from Top Esports, basically saying if you don't ban the Azir, we immediately get the Ryze first pick, or we're going to take the Azir, have a great matchup in the mid lane, and sure you can get the Yunara, but honestly Yunara trying to play into a Ryze can find it really, really difficult, so Top Esports trying to pinch that pool a little bit.
It's also trying to get Cream something he's super comfortable on. He's played 8 games of Ryze in this summer, has won 7 of them. Cream has been struggling to really have as much of an impact as he'd like, and there's the Ryze ban from Gen.G. They realize it, so Yunara and Azir getting through this draft.
So they don't want to give the Ryze and then do a Nivea into it.
Yeah.
They would rather give the Azir over, or the Yunara. You know, you get your pick, you get your choice of the power picks.
I genuinely would have expected the Azir. It feels like with the Azir, you've got slows, you've got decent range, you can kind of keep Yunara at arm's reach and make it a little bit difficult for to find the fights, and especially with the Cassiopeia Ryze, Orianna, the Talia, the Aurora gone, so much has been taken out of that mid lane champion pool, and Chovy's just going to get his hands on Azir now.
Maybe it's a factor of TES right now have more confidence in Jackie than they do in Cream at the moment and want to invest in him as far as the comp does go. But yeah, it is a dangerous proposition to give Chovy the Azir. Cream could go then, you know, like a Kali or something into it and try and put some kill pressure, some assassin answer into it if Gen.G snapped that one up. They're not going to do it immediately, but you have to feel like that's where it's headed.
Yeah, you don't really want to give away the Azir alongside Yunara. It's kind of best of both worlds for Top Esports at that point. I will say I think Cream's slightly more comfortable on the Azir, on the Akali than he is on the Azir. So there's the Kai'Sa lock. So if Top Esports want it, they can take the Azir. Their issue is Chovy then has counter on R3 here before we move into that second set of bans. It's kind of both teams playing a little bit of chicken with the chicken in the mid lane.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're still going to go for the Azir here. Like Cream, when he first entered the LPL, was known for his Silas and Akali play, so that was probably what they were trying to play into. But, I mean, the Azir is just so incredibly strong. Paired with the Yunara, just go for slamming all these tanks now and have yourself a field day.
And Gen.G know that this is what was going to happen. I mean, like, if you're drafting on the world stage and you say, oh, we'll leave Yunara and Azir up, and you're not sure if they're going to take Yunara and Azir, like, Gen.G have to have prepared something for this.
Gen.G have prepared that they're going to accept the Reddit challenge. They're using the lowest win rate champions at the tournament, Jarvan and Kai'Sa.
Yeah, but now Top Esports want to enter the ring with them, with the Pantheon. So where does that leave us, Cody?
Someone needs to pick Maokai.
Pantheon has less games played, so yeah. I guess the challenge is bigger here. But yeah, they give over both the Yunara and the Azir. So Chovy, I want to see the counter that you have prepped. Clearly, you have it ready, and you gave it over with a purpose.
I'm currently hovering over the LeBlanc. We're also looking at the Yone for a second. He's going to get poked out on the Yone in that early game, but Chovy pretty comfortable on the pick. I mean, he's pretty comfortable on every pick in the League of Legends handbook. There it is, Yone locked in alongside this Kai'Sa Jarvan.
This is so fun. Dive, dive, dive here. We've got Jarvan, Kai'Sa, Yone showing early top 3 for Gen.G here with their early picks. TES, I mean, if they're not going to be able to pull out this one, then does not bode well.
Yeah, especially when Gen.G, it feels like the words are written in the sky, ban Renata, to make things significantly easier for you in this sort of respect. And even getting rid of another enchanter, 369 can still go back towards something like the Cassante, and again, kind of be that frontline peel tool for Top Esports, and that could round out their draft very easily.
I think the Renata ban makes sense. I also think a Bin Pippi might be a good idea here if you're Gen G. You don't really want to give that Poppy over when you've got Jarvan, you've got Kai'Sa diving onto the backline. You probably want follow-up engage with your support. So we'll see if Gen G decide that the Renata or the Poppy is more important for that next ban. Nautilus going to get taken away by Top Esports.
Yeah, lots of those counter engage options. Braum as well, still kind of floating around. Or never mind, Braum was used in the first game. Will not be floating.
Just in the ether perpetually until we get to
That's what happens with Fearless bans. They have to watch the rest of the games in the skybox. Yeah, that's how that goes. So.
Yeah, I do agree though. Like, the Poppy going to be bad. I was expecting like Renata Poppy to be the two bans, to be honest, coming into this, because I think Renata works incredibly well with Yunara, enabling her. Also, it means that she can play hyper aggressive thanks to the revive. Plus, having that like tank frontline for the Cassante now feels like you've set up a fantastic position for yourself with Gen G playing hyper aggressive on the dive.
Okay.
A couple of bans. Nautilus, Alistair, Poppy, and Lulu are second phase bans here. Kobe?
Yeah, so you're kind of thinking like, all right, Rel combination with Kai'Sa is very common. See what sort of engaged champion that they would want to grab Duro.
Here as well.
I was thinking of the Leona. This is kind of the two that you really look at as the final two big engaged champs. We'll see where Duro decides to go. Expect to see the support here. Rakan as well does fit into that wheelhouse. And although he's more follow-up engage in my head, he already has a Jarvan and a Yone going in, so his follow-up is there to be followed up on. And he can jump in with that quickness. Top Esports looking towards top and support most likely. Pantheon can be flexed, but it's very rare that we see that these days into the support role, usually going into that jungle position.
For the Rumble, okay, I thought Top Esports would just opt in towards like tank frontline and having your Enchanter support to try and set yourself up for this answer, but instead they're just going to try and fight fire with fire here.
Yeah, and I kind of like taking away the Rumble as well, because it does look dangerous if Equalizer comes over the top of the dive with a Jarvan Cataclysm. The hot pot would be spicy, and Aurelia would be very, very spicy, so I don't think we're going to get it. And you get the common answer into the Rumble, the Ornn.
You were so hopeful there for a second, but the Aurelia was never going to be locked in. Ornn gives you that long-range engage that you need, also gives you a tank for later on. Let's see if Gen G are able to close the game out as quickly as they were in Game 1 here, with a dive with a little bit of extra front-to-back damage here, with the Ornn being that front line, whereas Top Esports have great dive, really good damage, no true tank. The Leona obviously can be a little bit tanky.
And like, not great peel either. That was kind of the other thing that I was looking at. Like, the Emperor's Divide can do some work, but against an Ornn long-range engage, the Jarvan follow-up, Yone, Rakan, it is going to be relatively difficult to actually keep this Azir and
confident positioning and movement from him.
Kanavi looking for the steal. Canyon does get it with the smite. Going to be forced away here. Chovy low. Navi, spear shots. Won't get it as the Soul Unbound pops Chovy underneath the tower and away, but he's losing minions to this turret and plates, with Hung coming in to assist. Top Esports should be able to deny quite a lot of CS away from Chovy.
Yeah, double pots popped on the refillable to make sure that Chovy can survive this alongside the help from the Doran shield, but Kanavi, he wants one more. Flash over the wall is available.
And he's going the other way. Comet Spear. Ooh, just short of Kanavi, tickles his toes as Chovy jumping in there onto Green Canyon, looking for it as well, and they get first blood! What was that, Chovy?
So mid ends up backfiring, and now it's Top Esports that are struggling to make things happen.
Keen has the call of the Forge God down the flash. Gonna call in the train to try and clear out the wave. Puts it down the Fissure as well as Hung flashes forward. Good Bellows breath, but the Solar that flare there for the follow-up. And there's the kill for Top Esports on the board here in Game 2. Trying to control that mid lane at the moment. 369 now teleporting towards the river. The Drake down to 3,000 HP. Kanavi jumping forward onto Keen. The Drake's still the target for Canyon and Chovy. Call to the Forge God as they dive back in. The double knockup. Canyon's already killed off Hung as Kanavi falls down to half HP. Duo with a good quickness. They dive back onto Kanavi. Fate sealed. Kanavi clapped by Chovy. Meanwhile, the dive onto the backline from Ruler, a killer instinct, and an instinct to kill here for Gen G. Cream trying to escape, puts the Soldier down to try and take out Ruler, but he just doesn't have the range. Gen G once again find a mid-game fight and absolutely delete Top Esports.
Towards Jackie Love and enable the fight onto Cream, and now 369's in trouble.
369 has no flash here. Call to the Forge God not going to come back with the Fate Seal. Goes on to 369. Flame Spitter, not enough to kill off Keen. Kanavi Kanavi coming in. Duro there for a little bit of shielding. Solar Flare, Chovy, Mikhail's immediately. Duro with a double charm. Keen trying to escape with the spear. Will pierce his heart as he goes down. And now Chovy being collapsed on. Chovy doesn't have the flash. No fate sealed for him either. Will be very difficult to buffer out of Cream if he goes in for that Emperor's Divide. The wave on its way, 369. Trying to shepherd it in. Chovy, the target, exhausts down, Soul Unbound comes out, but Chovy under the tower survives for as long as he can, but Top Esports put him 6 feet under. Meanwhile, Gen.G pushed through the mid-wave to get a tier 1, to look for a tier 2. Riftel charging towards this top side will be an exchange of tier 2 towers.
Good confidence back up a little bit, you know? Getting at least some opening and seeing that Gen.G are mortal.
369, a couple of flank here onto Chovy. Cream going in first. 369 with the flame spitter. Fate Seal comes out. Chovy able to dodge away with the Q3. Quickness coming out. The Zenith blade eaten by Juro. Chovy with another shield able to survive. And now the Mikhail's going to heal him up, and he's taken out by Kanavi. Meanwhile, Hung and 369 are now in the middle of Gen.G. Chovy survived for so long that Gen.G collapsed, and Top Esports collapsed around them.
Jackie Love couldn't get to the fight, but Gen.G en masse show up in the top lane and put them in the dirt.
TES, they go after Chovy, but the Avengers assemble quickly. Chovy buys some time. He ults and then he Qs away from the Azir ultimate that did not knock him back. He then ease over and dodges so much. He stays alive for a long time. Ruler, Duro again trying to keep him up, and by that time, Ruler and the rest of the Avengers have arrived to finish the job.
The speed, the rapidity of the response there. River, there's Soul Point. 5 minutes away as Kanavi dives in. The Solar Flare hits Ruler, but immediately he cleanses it away, and Kanavi doesn't really have the backup. Cannon down towards the bottom side. Kanavi going back in, but Keen will put him 6 feet under. Good damage from Jackie Love, though. Gets 1 in response. Keen still looking for damage onto Cream. Keen jumps in with that knockup. Chovy, the fate sealed, and Emperor divides him. Ruler gets another duo with a knockup. Ruler trying to escape 369, but he's put on a spit, and he's well done. 369 and Top Esports fighting back.
They get some extra gold and they open up the map as well. There are objective bounties still up too if they can stick around.
Duro and Chovy look for the quickness combo here. They turn on to 369 who's overheated. Duro almost escapes, but Cream puts the soldiers down. Chovy just able to survive. 100 HP on him. Jackie Love doesn't have the tools to close that gap. Farsight alteration was used in the pit. The vision once again denied by the control ward just sitting outside of it. Kanavi dashes in onto Keen, not really the target that you want. Meanwhile, the Solar Flare dives in onto Juro, who gets the quickness off, but is only onto Leona. Hung already down, the corner of the Forge God coming out as well as Gen.G get 1 and immediately back away.
It's everything onto Duro, but Duro is so slippery he backs away. And now Gen.G continue to play back towards this Baron, teasing Top Esports.
Fate Seal from Chovy doesn't connect, but Canyon does! Jackie Love is sent packing the Cataclysm onto Cream. He dives in but dies for it. 369 trying to flash away. Cannon can still flag and jag and trace this one down. Once again, try as you might, you just can't beat them. Gen.G are the best in the world right now.
They're just cool, calm, and collected there. Gen.G, you can tell, they're just waiting for the Yunar ultimate to drop off. As soon as it does, they pull the trigger, they re-engage onto Jackie, and instantly delete him.
But it's even the angles that they're attacking here. It's Chovy coming in from one angle to force Jackie into reach of Canyon, and Ruler to follow up. There was no hesitation. There was no chance for Top Esports. Gen.G refused to be denied playoffs.
369 dying right at the last moment. The Baron goes over to Gen.G. There's a Mountain Drake for them, and it will be Soul. And you wonder for Top Esports, if you do lose this Soul, how are you going to get through this Ornn? You do have 2 good DPSs. You've got an Azir, you've got a Yanaro, but that Azir sitting at 2 items right now as Kanavi jumps in. Once again, Duro the target, but he's durable and he'll just battle dance his way away. The Solar Flare doesn't find its mark. As now the Court of the Forge God comes out from Keen, and he's praying to Chovy that Church may be in session. Chovy unable to find the engage off towards the side, but again, Someone has used the equalizer down, doesn't really connect onto anyone, does separate Keen from the rest of Gen.G. Redemption coming out, Keen should be able to get into it, not quite. Jackie Love has transcended himself As Chobi dashes back, one kill. Cream goes forward as they look for Ruler, but Ruler with a killer instinct dives behind Cream. Jackie Love diving in and Chobi going the other way once again. Gen G clean up the fight and Top Esports are left rattled.
Ruler has been hit with better Azir ults than that one. But this time around, he will not be stopped as Gen G march towards the base.
Gen G are going to make quick work of Top Esports.
The first game was sub 25 minutes, the second one likely to be sub 30. I think a lot of people will wonder, could this series have just been an email? Gen G take their rightful spot in the final 8.